Remember the desserts that defined the 1970s? From neon Jell-O poke cakes to towering Black Forest gâteau, these retro sweets ruled every family gathering, church supper, and birthday party. Back then, Americans devoured over 25 pounds of sugar a year, and these desserts made sure of it. Today, we're counting down 20 forgotten desserts our family swore by. Some were elegant, some were playful, and others were quick pantry hacks. But every one of them is a nostalgic blast from the past. Which one would you bring back today? Peach Melba. Once considered fancy dining, Peach Melba combined poached peaches, raspberry sauce, and vanilla ice cream. In the 70s, it was a lighter option at a time when most desserts were heavy. Served in tall glass dishes, it looked like edible artwork. As richer desserts took over, Peach Melba faded, but its refreshing fruity charm makes it timeless. Tea cakes soft, buttery, and slightly sweet, tea cakes were a staple of Southern kitchens. Moms and grandmas baked them in big batches, dusted with sugar or flavored with lemon. In the 1970s, they were after-school snacks and Sunday afternoon treats. Over time, packaged cookies pushed them aside, but they remain proof that simple flavors never go out of style. Hawaiian delight layers of crushed pineapple, creamy coconut pudding, and whipped topping on a crumbly crust. Hawaiian delight was the dessert of every church picnic and summer potluck. Just one bite felt like a mini vacation, even if you'd never been to Hawaii. Bright and tropical, it was the 1970s in dessert form, pink champagne cake. This cake sparkled, literally. Bakers added champagne to both the batter and frosting, creating a delicate flavor and pale pink color. It was a wedding and anniversary favorite in the 70s, decorated with sugar pearls and roses. Because it required champagne, it was more of a special occasion dessert, and slowly vanished. Today, it's pure retro elegance. Penuche. A soft fudge made from brown sugar, butter, and vanilla, Penuche had a caramel-like flavor that chocolate fudge never matched. In the 1970s, it was a common church social treat, cut into sticky tan-colored squares. Over the years, it was overshadowed by chocolate fudge, but one bite instantly takes you back to simpler times. Jell-O pudding pops. Every kid in the 1970s knew these. Creamy custard-like pops made from Jell-O pudding mix, frozen into swirled bars of chocolate and vanilla. Ads promised fun and freezers delivered. They disappeared from shelves, but for many, pudding pops remained one of the most missed desserts of the era. Magic cookie bars? Hello Dolly bars? Retro baking at its best. Graham cracker crust, condensed milk, chocolate, coconut, and nuts, all layered in one pan. Once baked, they became gooey, chewy, and impossible to resist. In the 70s, every bake sale, potluck, and holiday tin had them. Easy, messy, and delicious, they were a family favorite. Napoleons / millefeuille. Crisp puff pastry, silky pastry cream, and marbled icing made Napoleon's bakery showpieces. In the 70s, buying one felt like a special treat, reserved for Sunday outings or coffee dates. Every bite was delicate and flaky, but they were tricky to bake at home, which made them a bakery-only indulgence. Hummingbird cake, moist layers of banana, pineapple, and pecans with tangy cream cheese frosting. This southern gem was the ultimate community gathering cake. It stayed fresh for days, making it perfect for reunions and potlucks. It was part tropical, part homemade comfort, and always disappeared first from the table. Watergate cake. Named after the scandal that shook the decade, this pistachio pudding cake was fluffy, nutty, and bright green. Topped with whipped frosting, it was quirky, colorful, and a conversation starter. At every potluck, you could spot a square of Watergate cake. Divinity candy light, airy and cloud-like, Divinity candy looked like little scoops of snow. Made by whipping hot syrup into egg whites, it was tricky to perfect, but worth the effort. Grandparents loved teaching the recipe to the next generation. Soft, sweet and nutty, it was a holiday tradition in many 1970s homes. Tequila sunrise cake. Inspired by the cocktail, this cake was baked with orange juice, grenadine swirls, and a splash of tequila. Each slice looked like a painted sunrise. In the 70s, when cocktails were trendy, this dessert felt playful and slightly rebellious. A grown-up twist on cake. Fruit cocktail cake. Canned fruit cocktail mixed straight into cake batter created a moist, no-fuss dessert. Topped with brown sugar, coconut, and nuts, it baked into a caramelized crust. Every household kept cans of fruit cocktail in the pantry, making this a weeknight favorite. Wacky cake. Depression cake. A recipe born in the Great Depression made a big comeback in the 70s. No eggs, no milk, no bowls. Just vinegar, vanilla, oil, and water stirred into dry ingredients. It rose beautifully and tasted like real chocolate cake. It was thrifty, clever, and delicious. The definition of old-fashioned ingenuity. Snowball cookies. Buttery nut cookies rolled in powdered sugar until they looked like snowballs. Crumbly and sweet, they were a must at every Christmas cookie exchange. Bite into one, and it felt like a snowy holiday memory, no matter the season. Poke cake. A boxed cake baked, poked full of holes and filled with colorful Jell-O or pudding. Each slice revealed bright stripes or creamy pockets, topped with whipped cream and sprinkles. It turned an ordinary sheet cake into a 1970s party trick, and kids loved it. Butterscotch brownies, blondies. The golden cousin of brownies, with butter and brown sugar for caramel richness. Chewy in the center, crisp on the edges, they were easy to bake and perfect for lunchboxes. Simple, chewy, and addictive, a dessert that stood on its own. Snowball cakes. Chocolate sponge filled with marshmallow, covered in coconut, and wrapped individually. Found in gas stations and school lunches, snowball cakes were messy, fun, and totally retro. Break one open, and you got marshmallow fluff, chocolate cake, and snowy coconut in one bite. Magic Pan crêpe cakes. Restaurants like Magic Pan made crepes into a spectacle. Stacked thin pancakes layered with custard or jam created a dessert that wowed diners. Watching them made was part of the fun. Eating them felt like a trip to Paris. Without leaving the mall, Neapolitan ice cream sandwiches. Vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry layered between wafers. A simple, perfect, frozen treat. The stripes made them instantly recognizable, and every kid at school parties wanted one. Nostalgic, colorful, and pure fun. These 20 forgotten desserts prove one thing. The 1970s may be gone, but the flavors live on. From tropical delights to quirky pudding mixes, each one tells a story of family, celebration, and creativity in the kitchen. Which of these retro sweets would you bring back today? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more nostalgic foods and forgotten recipes every week.